Teacher Kabaras YouTube channel. Welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is about a new lesson, which is vocabulary building, which is important to expand your vocabulary usage, and also it helps us to develop your vocabulary words. So among this vocabulary building, the lesson that we'll try to see is word analogy or vocabulary analogy. You know, analogy means words, two pairs of words which are like, and similarity, equivalence, and correspondence. So this is one of the ways of knowing or understanding how one word relates with the other word. So this types of vocabulary building is known as analogy. As I explained before, analogy means likeness, similarity, correspondence, and equivalence. So we have different techniques or strategies or types of how one word is similar with the other word, how one word corresponds with the other word. We have to have just such kinds of strategies to understand our vocabulary knowledge. The first types of word analogy is antonyms. When you say antonyms, means words which are opposite meaning, right? Opposite. So a word has correlates. One word correlates with another word with an opposite meaning, which is called antonyms. Antonyms. So we can just read this one. If A is to B and C is to D, it means the relation or the correlation between just poverty with wealth. So these types of correlation is antonyms, because the second word is the opposite of the first word. So these two pairs of words are antonyms. So analogy means, which is the first technique that we apply here. Words can be paired, words can be correspondence, words can be correlated with antonyms. So whenever we see these words, we can also just do the rest vocabularies in the same way. Here, sickness, which is the opposite of health. So sickness is paired, or sickness correlates with health, it means. So this is one way of expanding our vocabulary knowledge. The other types of analogy is words can be correlated with synonyms. Synonyms means similar, right? Similar. Words which have similar meaning and similar definition. So we can say that synonyms. So synonyms here, a cylinder is paired with, or a cylinder is too thin, or a cylinder is correlate with thin. These two words have the same meaning. So the type of analogy is synonymy. And obese, which means fat, fat and obese have the same meaning. So this pair of words go together with a type of analogy, synonym. So this strategy, by the way, is very important, especially for a grade 12 students who are going to take about aptitude examination. So we have to develop this strategy, and we simply understand, we simply identify, we simply underline the relation between the two words. If these two words have such a relation, the rest words can be related in the same way here. So there is a clue. There is a clue here. The third one is part to whole. Part means one is the part of the other, and the other is the whole of the part. I will repeat once. One is the part of the whole, and the other is the whole of the part. It means, so the relation between these two words is part to whole. I can just pronounce all this way, part to whole. So here, leg is paired with table, or leg is part of table. So the relation between these two words is part to whole, means leg is one part of the table. And hard drive is a computer, which means hard drive corresponds with computer, or I can say it, hard drive correlates with computer. So the type of correlation is part to whole. It means because hard drive is the part of computer. So this part to whole is the third type of analogy. So we can find the meaning of analogy words on this way, part to whole. If I know the relation between this leg to table, which is part whole, I can also define the rest types of words, how they are correlated with each other. The fourth one is cause effect. The cause is here and there is effect. The effect comes from the cause. So the relation between these two words are cause effect. So itching is the cause and the result of itching is scratching. So just these two words are maybe difficult words. So we can just simply identify the meanings, how they relate each other, how the two words correlate each other. So this is another kind of word analogy. And the fifth one is person and situation. Person and situation. Where does a person live? Where does a person work? Where does a person sit? Where does a person arranges? So just situation means a situation. It's a type of context which is directly related with person or human being. For instance, here there is a relation between teacher and the school. School is the place where teacher works, or teacher is a person or someone who works at the school. So teacher-school relation is person-situation. And here, mother and home. Mother, where does the mother live, or where does the mother stay? At home. So home is the situation where a person found. A school is a situation or a place where a teacher works. So such kind of context or such kind of relation shows about person to situation. So this is also another key strategy of expanding our vocabulary knowledge. And the sixth strategy or the sixth type is lack or without. So here, lack, what happens if there is lack? What's wrong if there is lack? Thirsty, water. Thirsty, water. Just without water or shortage of water, this problem happens. Hungry, food. Hungry, food. The result or the effect or lack of food is hungry. So this type of correlation is lack or without. And the other measurement, clear actually. Words can be paired. Words can be correspond. Words can be just similarity in terms of measurement. It means pound, kilogram. So we can just measure pound with kilogram. Here, gold, gram. So this refers about the pairs of words can be correspondence with measurement. So we simply understand what kilogram is and what pound is. Having you're looking these two pairs of words, we can just give some more examples. We can expand our using of vocabulary and making sentence in answering questions whenever in the middle of taking an exam. And the other is time. So here the relation between these two words are time. March, spring, and March is months in a year, and spring is types of season. So the relation between these two words is March to season, which is time relation. And the other is December to winter. It's also months in a year, and winter is also another season. So the relation between these two words is the same as with the first two pairs of words. And totally, these key strategies are the win-win strategies of identifying how two pairs of words can be related. But analogy means two words have relation on this way, in one way or in another way. So this is the best way. Let me just give you some questions related with analogy. Number one, lower and raise. Here, lower corresponds with raise. So what will be the correct correspondence of these two pairs of words from the given alternatives? So to answer the correct words here, we depend on how the two words are correlated here. So lower and raise here, these two words are antonymy, which means raise is the antonymies of lower. So we can just find out the pair of words which have similar definition or similar antonymy with the question word here. Under, above. Under is and above is also pairs of words which is the opposite and similar analogy of the first one. Bear is a kind of part of mammal and mammal. So this relation doesn't fit with the question. So the answer for this question should be what? Under, which is opposite of above, near, which is opposite of far. So we can just understand about how the first words can be paired. The second, soap and clean, which is called the relation, the two pairs of words can be related on this way. Soap and clean. The purpose of soap is clean, or the function of soap is clean. So it's called detergent purpose relation has on this way. So which pairs of words have the same function with the question soap with clean? Then this go wash and water, right? Wash and water. Is it right? Wash is the purpose and water is, this is called a kind of objective, a kind of, it's something actually, yeah? Rubber is an object. The function of rubber is to erase what you have written. And is an axe, which is a kind of material which we use axe for cutting. So these two words have the same meaning with the first one, which is object with purpose and object with purpose, but the first one doesn't, or the first pair of words doesn't show about the object plus purpose. So we simply just expand or define or understand or make or just identify or underline the pair of words depending on how the first two pairs of words are correlated. The third one, carburetor and car. The relation between this carburetor and car is part to whole, which is carburetor is part of car and part to whole. So which pairs of words have such kinds of relation? We depend on the question as I told you before, please. So pedal and bicycle. Pedal is part of bicycle, or this relation is part to whole. So this also true. And the other, water fetch. This is water and fetch, which is function, or it's not have the same meaning with the first question word. Root is part of three. Both A and B are the correct relation with the question carburetor with car, it means. And the last one is tooth and orthodontist. And a tooth is, which is part of our body, and orthodontist is a person who takes care of teeth. It means, so we can just find the two pairs for this which have and the same relation with tooth and orthodontist. The first one is surgeon and doctor. And a doctor is someone who who gives surgical or who operates a patient. See, so this is total, not particular. So this pair of words doesn't have or doesn't correlate with tooth and orthodontist. And the other one, tree arborist. Arborist means a person who takes care of tree, which is called a particular function, a particular purpose. So this is the right pair with tooth and orthodontist. Petal and botanist. No, botanist by itself is someone who studies about plants, which is general. It is the same function with the first A. Both A and C have different relation with tooth orthodontist or tree arborist. So these are, anyway, if you just see this question is simply just, you can just find or understand or take care of how these two words are related, how these two words are correspondent or correlated. Simply just after identifying how the words are correlated, you have to just find similar relation with the rest and indefinite words here. These are the approaches of developing our vocabulary neurology. So analogy is a very important part, a very important strategy which we develop, especially for words which are difficult, words which are new, and use this technology to develop our vocabulary knowledge. This is all about today's lesson. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like.